Atheist Nomads, episode 281, The Apostles' Creed.
The podcast you're about to listen to includes cursing and talking about hoo-haws. Please be advised.
Welcome to another episode of Atheist Nomads. I am Dustin, and joining me is Gary.
Ahoy, hoy.
And Lauren should be joining us here in a little bit. She's trying to get Kylie down to a nap. We've been trying that for quite a while, and yeah, it's not working well. So if you hear some crying in the background, that's why. Sorry about that. And Gary is the president of Idaho Atheists.
Yes.
So he is actually somebody worth listening to. He has power.
Only on certain occasions, but it's pretty rare.
And let's go ahead and jump into Dustin Off the Degree. This is the segment where I actually put my theology degree to some kind of good use, since normally it's a worthless piece of paper. Christianity has always had a difficult time keeping people in line and all believing the same thing. Now groups of people with similar beliefs that are distinct from other groups are called denominations, but they used to be called heretics. But before they could be called heretics, orthodoxy had to be established. And the terms Orthodox and Catholic are most commonly used to describe the Eastern Orthodox churches and the Roman Catholic Church. But both groups and even some Protestant denominations claim to be Catholic and Orthodox, since those words literally just mean universal and correct. Catholic being universal, Orthodox being correct. And in modern times, Orthodoxy is established with catechisms and written doctrinal statements. A lot of churches put out entire books. Catholic Church has the Catholic Catechism. Like the Adventist Church has the 28 fundamental beliefs. Most denominations have some written out, here's what our beliefs are. Mega churches and the other non-denominational churches are less likely to do that, but most churches do. But in the early days, Orthodoxy was established with creeds, which effectively are just a sworn statement of belief. Each creed was carefully crafted to address beliefs that a council had declared heretical. And among the earliest of these creeds is the Old Roman Creed, which reads, I believe in God the Father Almighty, and in Christ Jesus, his only Son, our Lord, who was born of the Holy Spirit and the Virgin Mary, who under Pontius Pilate was crucified and buried. On the third day he rose again from the dead, ascended to heaven, sits at the right hand of the Father, whence he will come and judge the living and dead, and in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Church, the remission of sins, the resurrection of the flesh, the life everlasting. Life everlasting sometimes was in there. And this creed was specifically designed to separate orthodoxy from Gnosticism. And this was a big deal for the early church, since Gnostics viewed Yahweh as a demon, and Jesus as the spirit baby of Sophia, the personification of wisdom. They believed that the spirit was pure, that flesh was evil, that sin wasn't a real thing. Obviously, Jesus, being pure, could not have had a sinful, evil body. That was just an illusion. This creed directly addressed all of that by identifying Jesus as Yahweh's son and emphasizing that he was born and died, which required an actual physical body. And that creed has been expanded over the years and is the basis for what would become the Apostles' Creed, which is still used in the Catholic, Lutheran, Anglican, Presbyterian, Methodist, and Congregationalist churches. So, pretty broadly. The Nicene Creed is used even more broadly than the Apostles' Creed, and it's also used in Oriental Orthodox, Assyrian, Eastern Orthodox, Catholic, Anglican, and many, many Protestant churches. It was first adopted by the Council of Nicaea in 325 CE and amended at the First Council of Constantinople in 381 CE. And in a lot of ways, it's similar to the Old Roman and Apostolic creeds, but it emphasizes the Trinity, with clauses like, we believe in one God, the very God of gods, begotten, not made, being of one substance with the Father, the Holy Ghost, the Lord and giver of life, who proceedeth from the Father, and who with the Father and Son are together, is worshipped and glorified. So the original Nicene Creed was specifically designed to identify Arianism as heresy and the 381 revision was to make it even more clear. And Arianism is the belief that Jesus came into existence when God the Father knocked up Mary, and that while he is a God, he is subordinate to God the Father. In other words, they believe that Jesus is a demigod, like Hercules.
Hercules.
And there are other creeds that have been adopted by other councils to address other heresies, but the Nicene and Apostles' creeds are the most common and are still found in current usage. Like, Catholic churches generally alternate between the Nicene and Apostles' creeds as to which one they include in a service. And generally speaking, any Christian who accepts the Trinity shouldn't have any issue with what's contained in the Nicene Creed, and even Mormons should not have any issue with what's in the Apostles' Creed. But Adventists and many evangelicals reject all creeds as being inherently Catholic. Mormons have their own creeds. But for Protestants, some Protestants, it's that they go against the principle of sola scriptura, Bible only, because these creeds aren't found in the Bible. There actually is one in 1 Corinthians, but nobody recites that one.
Nitpick.
Yeah. So yeah, Lauren's joined us.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back.
I am tired. I've put a baby to nap. Dogs have been barking all day.
All right, so let's go ahead and move over to news, which is actually relevant to what we just talked about.
Sweet.
During George H.W. Bush's funeral at the Washington National Cathedral, which is an Episcopal church, not Catholic. A lot of people think it's Catholic. It's not. A lot of people think it's government. It's not. It is Episcopal church, which is another way of saying Anglican.
Church of England, right?
Yeah. Donald and Melania Trump were seated right next to the Obamas and the Clintons. The Trumps didn't sing most of the hymns. Everybody else did. And they stood silently during the reciting of the Apostles' Creed, which the Obamas and Clintons and the other Bushes all did. People noticed this, and Trump has gotten a fair amount of criticism and even some mocking for not out-Christianing Barack Obama,
Yeah.
the alleged Muslim.
Lots of mocking. Mostly mocking.
Yeah, I don't think he knows the lyrics to anything. I don't think he can memorize anything.
That's the thing, is that he had the pamphlet right in front of him, but that's assuming he can read.
Yeah, right.
He's 70 years old and doesn't wear glasses. The odds that he could read text right in front of him are almost zero. Trump is so obsessed with appearing strong that it would be an admission of weakness to wear glasses.
Right.
And at least a pair of reading glasses so you can read the words on the page.
Or some fucking contacts.
Or do what everybody else does and just like fake it.
Right. Just mouth some weird random shit.
There's not a microphone on you. Nobody
Yeah.
can tell if you're actually singing or saying anything. Just say watermelon over and over and over again. And it looks like you're talking.
That sounds like a Skyrim cheat right there.
I remember that from an old theater friend.
Do watermelon?
Background people in the background of a play or a movie or something, if they say watermelon to each other, it makes it look like they're having a conversation.
The full spectrum of mouth movement?
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Nice. But, this shouldn't be an issue.
No. But it is.
Whether or not a president engages in religious displays at a funeral should be irrelevant. Except for the fact that Trump has campaigned on God.
Mm-hmm.
He identifies as Presbyterian. Presbyterians do the Apostles' Creed. If he was actually a good Presbyterian, he shouldn't have needed to look at the words.
Yeah, I don't know if he chose Presbyterianism because it sounded cool. Or that's what his mom told him to say. But it's pretty obvious that this is agnostic at least, if not atheist president.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have to say the creed, but yeah, it is it's a hypocrisy because the Christian evangelicals are all like, yeah, Trump. And we're like, but he's not Christian. He's not your Christian president. But whatever.
Now, of course, a lot of evangelicals...
Twitter storm was hilarious.
A lot of evangelicals... And this is one of the things that I think some of the criticism has definitely missed. Most evangelicals don't do creeds.
Right, because it's not biblical.
It's not in the Bible. Yeah. So why would you recite a creed that some church council came up with later? Granted, this one could potentially date back to before there was even a church.
But a U.S. president should not feel obligated to do such a thing. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a win. It's a lose. I don't know.
I mean, if you go by what he projects, he should have been able to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go by what he is, he probably can't read. So yeah, there's no way for him to really win on this one.
Yeah. That's true. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. And yeah, George W. Bush,
I'm sure Pence was there. He was probably speaking it loud enough for everybody.
I don't know if I saw Pence.
That would be kind of a slight, right? If you didn't invite the vice president to...
he was probably there, but yeah, I just saw the president's line.
Everybody was so focused on that nobody else was even...
Yeah, and Carter
on radar.
Carter kind of ignoring Trump was the highlight of the entire event for me.
Good old Carter.
The Clintons also ignored Trump.
They did, yeah. Hillary had some dagger eyes, yeah, which was rightfully so. Yeah.
It looked so awkward when Trump and Obama shaked hands.
Yeah. Yeah, there was the pursed lips and everything. Like it was a
cordial at the bare minimum.
Right. It's a hard pill to swallow for Obama, you could tell. And as much of an asshole as he was, the most endearing thing was George H.W. Bush giving...
No, W. Bush.
Is it W? Yeah, you're right.
H.W. died.
H.W. died, yeah. W is the younger one, yeah. Junior gave Michelle Obama candy, which he's done a couple times before. And it's kind of weird and endearing at the same time, although he's a giant useless piece of shit. It's kind of like their thing.
Yeah, he's a giant piece of shit, but he's not an amoral piece of shit. Like there's a reason why he was elected. The people that are close to him really, really do like him. He's apparently a pretty nice guy once you get beyond competency.
Yeah.
But sliding candy over to the first lady or leaving nice notes. Apparently he left a nice note. Little things like that. Trump's just lacks everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Bush was a nice guy, horrible president.
Right.
Trump is a horrible person and a horrible president.
Right.
Without no Dick Cheney behind him running the show.
He's got Mike Pence running the show.
Yeah, but how much running is he actually doing? At this point, he doesn't have enough staff to run anything.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I just don't want to see Donald Trump run at all. That would be scary. Like, just don't. Walk, maybe. Use the golf cart, which you're accustomed to. Don't run.
Did you have to put that visual in my head?
Sorry. Somebody mentioned it on Reddit a couple days ago, so I had to.
All right. Well, it can't be worse than Trump and Melania.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, so one example of an evangelical who thinks that all this criticism Trump's getting is ridiculous is Pastor Jesse Lee Peterson, who calls Trump, quote, the Great White Hope. Yeah, let that sink in.
Yeah.
A black pastor calling Trump the Great White Hope. He went on his radio program to defend Trump's skipping of the Apostles' Creed. And here's what he said.
I've never heard of Apostles' Creed. What in the world is that? Who made that up? That's not a Christian thing to be reciting. It's a phony act.
It's as Christian as you can get.
Yeah.
Like, definitionally, it is as Christian as you can get.
And also, have you not heard of Apollo Creed? Who was a black guy. Like, that should be part of his...
Assassin's Creed.
Also Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Very, very good game series.
And in the studies to become a minister, learning about the Apostles' Creed and Nicene Creed and the other creeds are very important parts of church history to learn about, because those were very critical moments in defining Christian theology and determining what is and is not okay. Like, the Apostles' Creed was the point where they defined that believing Jesus was a disembodied spirit walking among the apostles was not okay.
I agree, it's not okay. I played enough video games to know that that's not, something's going to happen.
This is not something you can call not Christian, and using ignorance as justification for that is ridiculous.
That's such a good fallback, you know? Don't Google it before you talk. Just, I never heard of it, therefore it's not legitimate. You should have heard of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that he talked with a little bit of a lisp. So I had a hard time taking him seriously anyway, which is terrible on my part, because you should never gauge somebody based on how they talk. It's almost as bad as, you know, gauging a person's personality on their weight. But we all judge internally, and internally I was thinking, oh man, this guy needs to not talk.
I had to skim through 12 minutes of this program to find this clip, because YouTube has shut down Right Wing Watch's channel that they used to post clips like this because of copyright violations.
It's one of the few things they've done right for a while.
Except Right Wing Watch is awesome. It makes it so much easier to have somebody who's already trimmed it down to the crucial part, as opposed to actually having
somebody else
to
do all the work.
I mean, if it's a violation, though, I'm on board with that. Like, rules are rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just don't apply them evenly. That's the problem.
Now, with the way Right Wing Watch did it on YouTube, is they would take the clip, put their little outro on the end, and just upload that, which is not fair use.
Yeah.
What we're doing is because we're actually commenting on it.
Right.
Now, Right Wing Watch does comment on it on their website, but they don't do it in the video.
Well, then they just need to do that. They should hire you to do that. Say, hey, you guys need a voiceover.
Yeah.
That'd be that's a good gig, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man,
do it.
The riff tracks.
The riff
version.
tracks of crazy right-wing pastors.
Crazy right-wing pastors like Georgian Banov, who identifies...
Wait, is that his name, or is he Georgian?
That is his name.
Okay.
He is Eastern European.
Okay.
But that is his name. He identifies himself as a prophet and as the Apostle of Joy.
Oh.
And right before the midterms, at an event called Rise Up 2018, as in Christians rise up.
Yeah, okay.
A little scary.
A little bit.
Come on. They're always looking to bolster their morale.
Rise up sounds a little more like rise up against the government.
I think you're reading a little too into it, but okay.
Anyway, so he told a story about getting invited by the White House, or to the White House by Donald Trump, to anoint every door, along with his friend Bill Johnson. They run crazy right-wing dominionist schools in different places that they're buddies doing the same crazy bullshit.
See, this is the crazy bullshit we were talking about that Trump does that makes him a complete hypocrite.
Uh-huh.
What, anointing doors?
Yeah.
Who gives a crap?
Also, basically, the White House is now the Amityville house.
So they both disguise themselves as janitors so as to not freak out the White House staff.
Oh, that just seems so dirty.
It took them 11 hours.
That's a lot of doors in that building.
Well, you have to...
Especially if you have to do it in secret.
You have to secretly wait for everybody to pass and then apply the oil and say the prayer.
I'm surprised the security guys didn't tackle him, because that's just weird.
Yeah, they would have had to have clearance, right? By Secret Service first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can't just go putting weird oils on all the doors of the White House. Mix a little bit of anthrax in there or something. I mean, seriously. They should have never let these guys do that.
No, this is absolutely insane.
I'm sure the White House has been locked down for less.
Yeah, like somebody flying a drone out front.
Right, yeah. If you guys ever seen the West Wing, lockdowns happen or used to happen all the time. This would totally cause a lockdown.
But the stuff Trump does with batshit crazy pastors has got to drive the Secret Service insane. This isn't the worst, because there was a time where he invited 40 pastors into the Oval Office to meet with him alone and then lay their hands on him.
Mm-hmm. That was terrible.
That's how you give a Secret Service agent a heart attack.
And yet, no assassins have done anything. Come on, guys. You're being... all you have to do is put on a big old gold cross, convince a couple 100,000 people to send you money, and he'll invite you right in.
I think that only works for pedophiles.
And stab. Stab.
Gary,
do not
we haven't
stab
gotten
the president.
We haven't gotten to pedophiles yet.
Are we not always at pedophiles in the religious discussion?
Usually. Good segue, though.
Yeah, except not to the right story.
Bad segue.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's we'll get to that later.
You rolled that segue right off the cliff. Which is how the inventor of the segue died.
So, you know how we already talked about Rise Up 2018? Now we've got Revolution 2018.
Okay.
Which is an event put on by Lamplighter Ministries.
Not Simmer Down Now Ministries?
No. Lamplighter.
Gaslighting Ministries.
It was supposed to take place at the Museum of the Bible, like last year, until the day before the event was supposed to happen, when an advisory board finally convinced the museum leadership to cancel the reservation because they're too extreme.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. Too dominionist for the Museum of the Bible. The museum did go ahead and help them find a new site. Trump International Hotel. The group now views this as being a fulfillment of prophecy, with John Hamill, the leader of Lamplighter Ministries, telling the group, "We thought we were going to be in the Museum of the Bible tonight launching Revolution, but God had other plans. Can we thank God to celebrate freedom in the Trump International Hotel? We are getting back on track. The train has come into the station. We're now in the turnaround that God has prophesied. And we are setting a new course, a new way forward for this nation."
Wow.
Yeah. What?
I don't even really have a response to that. That's just the expected bullshit, like it's beyond and above like normal bullshit, but it's kind of almost like what you would want to expect.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of the problems with the whole Trump hotels and the fact that Trump is still, not involved in day-to-day operations, but still involved enough that they can claim that provides them legitimacy. And some of this legitimacy, even realistically, it might go as far as some of these groups like Skywatch TV. It's a end times dominionist TV channel, and their CEO and end times author, Tom Horn, was on a program they were doing to promote a new, we can call it a documentary, maybe.
Mockumentary?
No, they weren't trying to mock it. This was on the ritual occult underpinnings of the United States.
Nice.
And he also talked a bit about Hillary Clinton.
The deep state stuff?
Oh no, this is even better than the deep state stuff. And this is a small clip. And again, because Right Wing Watch, their clips have all been removed from YouTube, I had to go through 50 minutes of this shit. Yeah, I was skipping ahead, but oh boy, is this crazy.
Get to it.
If you're high enough, it might be a fun watch. Otherwise, don't.
So not me.
But you can't do that in Idaho, so no one's high here.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so here's just a small clip of what he had to say.
Where the founder of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and actually the founder of the Church of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, they get together, they're conducting the Babylon working, ritual sex magic, for one purpose, to bring through a dimensional veil into our reality the archetype divine feminine, the whore of Babylon, right? Yeah. To incarnate it within a female that he believed would grow up. He wrote about it in his biography. She'll grow up, she'll become an influential, worldwide known feminist who will help give rise to the Antichrist. They believed that that was Hillary Clinton. In one of the other programs, maybe we can get into all the details about why that is so.
Wow.
They that he refers to that believe this are members of Hillary's campaign who are occultists, that he identifies as occultists.
So nobody.
Yeah.
But he's going to say it anyway because it's fun to say, and somebody's going to misquote it.
Because he gets to say that Hillary Clinton is the whore of Babylon without saying that he's saying that she's the whore of Babylon.
Also, I think I'm probably more of a feminist than Hillary Clinton is, so that doesn't really qualify much.
Yeah, but that's only if you understand what feminism is.
Right, it's
and not
true.
just she wears a pantsuit, she must be a feminist.
Right. She's one with the power, she's got to be a feminist.
So they also, he went on and was going off on this conspiracy about how, she's going to be running again in 2020. Okay, that part's not a conspiracy. That's something that she is considering doing.
And I really hope to hell she does.
And that she's going to, that is important for the occultists because she's going to be 72. And that is an important, very significant number for the occult.
Can we get a president who's not in their 70s first off? Can I just say that?
Well, Obama was the last one, and then Clinton before him, but...
Bush. W. Bush.
Oh, you're right. He was, he was...
He was about 50 when he got...
Yeah.
Or actually, I think he was in his 40s when he got elected.
47, I think you're right. Yeah.
Either way, it's just old people need to let go.
Yeah.
Or, actually mentor the younger people so that the younger people know what they're doing. That would be great.
And somebody who was first lady in the early 90s should not be running 3 decades later.
Well, okay, it doesn't, Our issue is not with Hillary Clinton here.
No. But okay, so anyway, this guy, this whole, this documentary and this program they were doing about it, trying to promote its sale, the whole premise is that the occult is what is running the U.S. and that everything in the government is all being controlled by the occult, by this dark magic.
Illuminati, but different.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
More sinister than the Illuminati.
And it's not the deep state. This is the black magic behind the deep state.
This is the Mr. Peanut National Treasure stuff. This is the Family Guy take on the National Treasure movie.
Oh, yeah, okay. Which I only just saw this summer, so.
National Treasure?
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm not a huge fan of Nick Cage. He just has that face.
I liked him in 2 movies. If he's not an action star, he's wonderful.
Wicker Man. He was great in Wicker Man.
The Bees. Yeah.
Just for that line.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona was the Nick Cage movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, and honestly,
I heard Face Off was pretty good too.
It was not good.
No? Okay.
Watch it. It's not good though.
Well, I haven't seen it in 20 years, so my judgment on it is probably not very good.
Lucero, that of a preteen boy. Yeah, you probably loved it.
Yeah, I did.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, you watch it again. It's
Naida Reich. That's how I'm going to pronounce her name. Had been a teacher at Our Lady of Lourdes Regional School, a Catholic high school in Pennsylvania, until she told her principal that she was pregnant. And as he put it to WNEP, if there's no eventual plan in the near future to get married, it was either that or I had to let her go. She was not going to marry her boyfriend just because she was pregnant and that was her boss's requirement. So she was fired.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, at what point do you I stop feeling for these people, because it's like, you got to get a different job somewhere. You don't have protections. These people don't respect you, and they'll let you go as soon as they can. So why are you working for these douches anyway? But that's with the assumption that it's so easy to just go out and get another job.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the crazy thing is, to Catholics, anything that they own is a ministry.
Mm.
In the law, they can get away a lot better with that with schools than a lot of their other ministries. So no Catholic hospital would fire a nurse or lab tech for getting pregnant outside of marriage. In fact, most of them offer +1 benefits for unmarried partners. Schools are under a very different category, which is one reason why I think private education should be abolished.
Yeah.
Or at least systemically punished with taxes to a degree.
Yeah.
Nope, abolished.
Oh.
They just need to go.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Level the playing field. Yeah, just level the playing field. We need everybody to have a base level of knowledge and understanding, and letting religion get in the way of that is dangerous.
It is.
It is also classist to allow the richest to buy the best educations for their children,
Yes.
to give their children a better chance. Because if you look at the difference between performance in private schools and public schools, the biggest factor is private schools can be selective in who their students are.
Right.
Which means
Those kick out the lowest performers. Yeah.
if you have the top 20% of students in your class for the area that you're in, and you can teach to the top 20%, if you have the bottom 80%, you're having to teach to the middle or bottom half of that. And we need to level the playing field, especially if we want those with the money and power to actually take public education seriously.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, because they were all handed their education. Almost all of them. I mean, how many Congress people are millionaires?
Yeah.
Just probably not, handmade from bootstraps or whatever the saying goes.
I think it's like 60-some%. Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount.
They have no concept of what public education is. They don't understand that the local middle school has one science textbook, and the teacher has to make copies of the pages every day for the other kids. I mean, they don't get that because they don't see it. They don't think that exists.
I was absolutely shocked when I heard about that, but I'm a product of private education.
Yeah, well, I remember back, in the 90s, a lot of textbooks were on their last leg anyway. So when the budget got slashed, they couldn't buy new books. Nobody gets new books for like an entire generation.
Yeah, last day of class was always erasing stuff in your textbook to make sure it lasted another year. That was...
Yeah.
Or to get credit for when you turn it in.
Right, yeah.
Whereas my school, it wasn't great, but they were able to teach to a higher level because nobody's going to spend $7,000-8,000 a year sending a poor performing student to school when they can do it for free.
Right.
It's not a good investment. And it was for all of us.
Sorry, Billy, you're just not a good investment. You're going to go to state middle school.
Yeah. The one exception on that was kids whose behavior was so bad that their parents thought that a good Christian influence was worth it.
Ouch.
Those were my bullies. Oh, private education is terrible. It is terrible. It is horrible. But this,
bullies are in public school too.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
probably way worse.
You're less likely to have your entire class be your bullies.
Yeah, there's less chance just by numbers.
Yeah,
but percentage-wise, it's all still there. Kids are jerks.
My ex-girlfriend just told me that she had to deal with a 6th grade cyberbullying issue where some students started cyberbullying other students. It's that's the big one right now. Like physical bullying, There's some recourse in some schools, right? Like,
Yeah.
Cyberbullying, though, that happens outside of schools. It comes into schools. That's a tough one.
It's Melania Trump's pet project.
Yeah, right.
Which is hilarious because
given her husband.
Yeah. Now, okay, so bring it back to the story that we're talking about.
Yes.
They actually did talk to the DOC about it, and their response was that they don't talk about personnel matters. Okay, easy way out. And that they require that all employees, as a condition of employment, live to and by the standards of the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
If you're not Catholic, don't teach at a Catholic school. All right, so 2 nuns stole $500,000 from their Catholic school to go gambling.
This sounds like a Ben Affleck movie.
Best headline in a long time, though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't actually that epic. Sister Mary Margaret Kruper and Sister Lana Lang. So, one who has the same name as a Superman character and the other one who has the most Catholic name possible. We're both at...
Wait, Lane?
Superstar.
Lana Lang.
Lang?
Instead of Lane.
Smallville.
Oh, okay, that's not legit.
Clark Kent's
That's-
Smallville girlfriend.
Okay, no.
Because it's normally Lana Lane, right?
That was her
No,
cousin in
it's Lois-
Smallville.
Oh,
Lois
okay.
Lane.
Lois Lane, there we go.
It was her
So-
cousin in
Lana
Smallville,
Lang.
which
So
was
it
just
is
weird.
Lane, not...
No, Lana Lang was the cousin of Lois Lane. It was...
That seems lazy.
I've never seen that show, but that is kind of lazy.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah.
yeah, Smallville.
Superman's almost always lazy, though. It's
Yeah. Anyway,
That's really lazy.
Kruper was the principal at the school, and Lang was a teacher there. It was St. James Catholic School in Torrance, California. They set aside some of the tuition checks and deposited them into a secret bank account to fund their frequent vacations, mostly to go to casinos and gamble. Logically, Vegas trips.
I was gonna guess they were close enough to Indian casinos to that.
Yeah. But if you're going to go all out, go all out.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
And when you're dealing with $500,000 over 10 years, you're going to go all out.
Well, I think you get more. If it's more frequency is less fanciness.
Yeah, but
so
okay, if you figure
and like you said, this was over a long time.
10 years.
It's not like each one of those like 2 tuition checks are going to pay your way through Las Vegas.
yeah, but if you've got $10,000 or $50,000 a year for gambling, you go on
Is that how much we're talking? We don't even know.
$500,000 over 10 years. That's $50,000 a year, roughly.
Oh, okay.
Or it could be. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying getting into the weeds on this one too.
They didn't get busted until they both retired.
Wow.
They won. They won the game. Except for they did get busted in the end.
They got busted, and they expressed remorse. So the DSC has forgiven them and will not be pressing charges.
They had enough money to buy a sin eater at that point, so they should be good.
Yeah. Really good lawyer, anyway.
Okay, so you can steal $500,000 from the Catholic Church
To go gambling.
And nothing bad is going to happen to you. Get knocked up while teaching at a Catholic school. You're fired.
Yeah, well, I just imagine going to like Las Vegas and like hiring a stripper, and these two, it's like the opposite, right? It's opposite day where it's the nuns who are hiring the stripper instead of the stripper being a nun.
Yeah, okay. And keeping on the Catholic Church, because they were in the news a lot this week. 2 U.S. chapters of the Jesuit order covering the West Coast and Central U.S. have released a list of 153 priests from their provinces in the order that have had credible allegations of child sexual abuse, in some cases dating back to the 1950s. That number seems small.
It does, yeah.
153.
They're giving up a like a token amount.
There's only 2,150 Jesuits in the U.S.
Wow.
And this is only 2 of the 5 Jesuit provinces in the U.S. We're talking in the ballpark of 10% that they've had credible enough accusations to feel like they need to get ahead of the story.
Yeah, this is no bueno.
Yeah,
nobody is safe.
That's enough to throw those people underneath the bus, but it's a big ass bus, and they're not really accounting for that, I assume.
And actually, 10% might even be light. That could even be 20% of their number. That's a substantial amount.
It is.
This is impressive that it's gotten bad enough that they're releasing the information.
Yeah, on their own accord, versus all the times they've hidden the information.
Mm-hmm.
So these people are probably close to retirement or have done something to piss somebody off.
Yeah.
Or became scapegoats for some reason or another, as opposed to all the ones who are still out there, being predatory assholes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to put in perspective, Jesuits have a tendency to focus on education. They run a lot of universities, high schools, elementary schools. Yeah, these are priests with easy access to children. Even more so than your average parish priest.
They have access to children and protection.
All right, let's go ahead and move on over to feedback. Danielle told us in person that last week's episode was 280, not 270, which is what I said at the beginning.
Damn.
Got the wrong number.
I labeled it correctly. I said the wrong number at the beginning. I am sorry.
Thank you, Danielle, for your attentiveness.
She's on top of her shit right there.
On top of our shit.
It's hard.
The shit.
Oh, she's also the one that let me know that the survey did not allow access from outside of the Atheist Nomads domain.
Huh.
Whoops. That was a fun one to figure out how to fix. Yeah. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah. Keeping the number of episodes straight is difficult. I even got it screwed up on the calendar recently. That was a horrifying realization. And we got our first SpeakPipe message.
Yay!
SpeakPipe.
Josh. Different Josh.
No, not Daniel's Josh.
No, different Josh.
Hello, my name's Josh. Just wanted to let y'all know that I was disheartened to hear that no one had left y'all a message before. First-time listener, haven't gotten too farther than just when you guys were pitching this in the episode. But I'm entertained. You guys are doing a great job. Glory hole or, oh, wait, wrong show. Thanks, bye.
Yeah.
Our first glory hole.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And, okay, this isn't the first message we've been left. It's the first one on SpeakPipe. We've gotten voicemail before, and you can hear the difference in quality. That was so much more clear than any voicemail we've gotten.
That was nice.
SpeakPipe is the way to go.
Thank you, Josh.
And as far as the glory hole thing goes, while that may be cognitive dissonance thing, we are closer to the glory hole here. It is the giant water receptacle at the Owyhee Reservoir in far eastern Oregon, just across the border.
Yeah, it's really cool when it's full, though, because, it's just a hole in the middle of the dam. Everything just falls into it looks like another dimension. It's great.
Somehow, Pornhub does not give me those kind of glory hole results.
Nope.
From Celia Gray via Twitter, at Atheist Nomads. Hey, good job, or good on hashtag TST, the Satanic Temple, regarding their lawsuit regarding Baphomet in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It seems like it turned out favorably. At Lucian Greaves, at Satanic_Temple_. Yeah, that was awesome. Glad to see they won.
Also, such a good show. I really enjoy that.
Yeah. We haven't checked it out yet.
It's good. Yeah, do give it a little look over. It's
all right.
From David Camp via Facebook. Thos is a atheist Facebook page I started. THOS. And in answer to episode 280 about the Baphomet tree topper, something for the kids too, Baphomet Barbie.
Aww.
If you want to see that, find his post on the Atheist Nomads Facebook page. It is... The nipples are so red. so red.
Kylie thinks that's funny too.
From Gabriella P. via email. Hi, I responded to your poll a couple episodes ago and was super flattered that you all read my answer. I was wondering if it was possible for you to react to this YouTube video I found. It's a Christian YouTube channel, and the video title is extremely misleading. Basically, it implies that the video is a cute coming out story, but it ends up demonizing homosexuals and essentially telling them to convert. Is there any way you can react to it? I don't think anybody has brought attention to it yet, and it genuinely bugs me that they kind of got away with it. Thank you. Here's the link. The link will be in the show notes. I watched it, and her story that she gives reminds me, there are so many elements of it that remind me of my experience with doubt in the last 5 years I was a Christian, where you feel like you're supposed to be living, you feel like your life and what you believe are two different things, and it's very difficult and just sucks. And this girl talks about how she lived a wonderful, fulfilling, happy life as an out lesbian until she got dragged into a Bible study, and she's repented of her ways and has a boyfriend now. And they have it titled as a coming out story.
Oh, man.
Coming out straight, I guess? Is that what they were implying?
It is messed up.
It's like Scared Straight almost.
It is so messed up. I really hope this girl ends up leaving the church she's in and either leaving religion altogether or at least finding an affirming church so that she can actually be who she is.
Yeah.
And not try living a lie.
Yeah, if she's a lesbian, she should be a lesbian.
And we are behind on survey responses, but I've got some lined up for this week and some saving already for next week.
Yay!
So, atheistnomads.com/survey if you want to leave a survey response. And a couple of responses on what do you like about the show. One was, I quite like dusting off the degree. Any news topics of interest to atheists? Another one was normalizes atheism. One was very informative. Hosts are relatable, and Kylie adds much to the show.
She really does.
Yeah, when she's not getting Santa hats thrown at her by the guest.
It's like a ring toss, and I'm doing really well. I think. Her little head is... It's a good shape for a ring toss of a Santa hat.
I am impressed with how many comments about what people like about the show has been Kylie.
She's crawling all over me to get to the microphone.
Like, she doesn't really add much to the discussion, but what is it that helps, that makes this good? Is it that she lightens up the mood a little bit by her adorable little noises getting in, or is it just the fact that it makes us seem more human?
Good point.
A little less alien, yeah, that's probably what it is.
Or is it even just that enough of you are cognizant enough to realize that the cost of having Lauren on the show is Kylie's occasional noises?
Baby noises are mostly cute. I'm sure it's the baby noises.
I would be curious to know. Anyway, continuing on. Hearing people who think like I do, progressive news, child and dog commentary too. Comment, it's interesting that I hear few ex-Catholics on atheist podcasts and wonder why. I've got an easy answer on that one. Dan Savage. Ex-Catholic, he's an atheist. He still identifies as Catholic.
Yeah, he does.
He's a Catholic atheist. Catholicism is culture. It's like ex-Jews, almost like Jews as well, where it's a culture. Now, with Judaism, it's a culture. It's kind of a racial group or ethnic group, nationality. Pick a word that you think fits best, because I don't know which one would be the right one to use to describe that. And a religion and a culture all wrapped up. And when you look at Catholicism in the U.S., there's Irish Catholic, German Catholic, Mexican Catholic, well, Latin American Catholic, those are all cultures, and a huge part of your culture is the Catholic element. And I think it's easier for people who are kind of culturally Catholic to, even though they're atheists, not really drop the Catholic thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I kind of like him with Tony Soprano. Like, you know, I don't think he was really Catholic, but he went through all the baptisms.
Next one, it's a good podcast. I love dusting off the degree segments. Reminds me of my own time spent on a philosophy and comparative religion degree. Okay, you sound like somebody that would be fun to talk to. Feel free to email us.
Yep.
That goes to everybody listening. Feel free to email us, contact@atheistnomads.com. I've actually fixed it so that you have less of a chance of your email getting a message back saying that it might be spam, which was really weird. The secret was moving the email off of the grandfathered in Google Apps account.
Oh.
Yeah. The updates on how culture is moving away / towards religion. I like your intention to have diverse guests on the show. Next, as a history buff, I love dusting off the degree. While I listen to every episode, I like Dustin, etc. enough that I will pause whatever I'm currently listening to get to that episode first. That's amazing. I am... whoa, you made it.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what you were saying. That was amazing.
No, pausing whatever she's listening, or he or she's listening to get to that episode first. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is super awesome.
I also just bring the Santa hat on the baby.
Yeah, it's not as awesome as a baby wearing a Santa hat that's way too big, but...
Yeah.
I thought I did really well.
And finally, for what people like about the show for this week, honestly, Lauren is the best bit. Aww. I do like the degree dusting sections.
I'm a bit. I'm a hoo-ha bit.
And for how could the show be improved, we got, I like the show as it is, but do not object to you guys trying out new things. I really appreciate that. I am nervous every time I try something new. And I have been very pleased that the listeners have come along when I do that.
Yeah.
It's scary. And okay, sometimes when we've tried something new, we've lost listeners. But we've always gained new people. And
cooler people.
That's the fun thing with trying new stuff. Next one was get that mobile studio up and running.
Yeah.
Next summer.
We have a pop-up trailer in line.
Yep. It's going to be cool.
I got a meth dealer RV like parking on my property if you really want that. It looks just like the RV from Breaking Bad. It's seriously kind of our...
Did your friend move it back over?
Yeah, as of yesterday, yeah.
Oh, how long?
He's trying to sell it, so hopefully not too long.
Next up, we've got building off the above section. Please make Dustin Off the Degree an every episode segment. Yes.
He's working on it, guys.
That would be great. I have a lot less time for the show with the baby. So it has been a lot less frequent. And they are a lot of work to do right.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Along with me being a history buff, I am an even bigger science enthusiast. Please bring back the science segments. Lauren does such a wonderful job at them.
Aw, thank you. I have no excuse. I'm a stay-at-home mom now, so I should do that.
That is your excuse.
Okay, that is... okay. I watch a lot of Netflix, so maybe I can cut down on TV time and start doing some more science. I don't know. We'll see.
We had a baby just over a year ago. It takes time to get back into some of these things. She needs to know this
stuff, too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She wants to know what that mysterious seismic ripple that went through the planet was.
Yeah.
Magma shifting, by the way. They think.
Likely, yeah.
As others have said, more diversity in the guests, particularly in the trans/non-binary perspectives.
Always looking out for that, so...
Yeah. We've tried to get Sophie Hughes on a few times, and I will continue to try to follow up with her, but she is ridiculously busy.
And funny.
Amazingly funny.
Yeah, her comedy bits are just fucking stunningly good.
That is one that I definitely want to get her. Her story from the bathroom at the comedy club is heartbreaking, hilarious, and oh man, yeah. But yes, we do need to do better in that area.
It is kind of tough though. I mean, it's Idaho still, right? It's,
The Venn diagram makes for a very narrow group of people that we can choose for that, between being non-religious and trans.
And in Boise.
In Boise.
Yeah. But interestingly, out of the 30 responses we've gotten so far, 2 identify as non-binary.
Whoop, whoop.
That is a surprisingly high percentage.
Yeah, it is. And that's awesome because you got to own it.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get that was included as an answer.
Next one we got was, I'm not exactly sure, but I think you could talk about censorship and children's rights more.
All right.
Yeah, we definitely could. We try to cover children-related issues when we can, when they come up in the news.
For the most part, it's usually kids getting abused, and that can really bum us out, though.
Yeah.
So we have to do a break from that sometimes.
It's kids getting abused and vaccines are the 2 big ones that come up. And kids getting sick or abused, it is depressing.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Censorship is a tricky one because a lot of the so-called censorship happening right now is definitionally not censorship. It is private corporations exercising their rights. And that is a very different issue.
And also that the people who are getting censored / deplatformed are oftentimes inciting violence, and that in itself is not protected speech.
It is actually illegal.
So, yeah, there are no rights to give, just like there are no fucks.
Although on that topic, it looks like there is a federal investigation into the FCC's the false comments on net neutrality. So that one's going to be, and so there's 2 state investigations, I think, and then 1 federal one now as well. So that one could be interesting.
And the final how we can improve the show for this one is 2 words. Soundboard.
Thank you. Thank you to all my loyal fans out there and listener land who has put 1 more notch in the tracker that is bugging Dustin about a soundboard.
So is this like fart noises that they want? Or?
Oh, yes, but I will perform them all myself.
Lauren voice fart noises?
We got air horn, we got burp, we got who knows? Oh my god. Yes.
Brown noise.
Trombone, the sad trombone. Wah, wah.
$250.
Okay. And then there could also be like claps, like applause, or it would be great.
My ego kind of wants that one.
$250 is the price.
All right, raise me $250, people. He just gave me this nice microphone for $300 something.
$309. Yeah, and if you want to take part in the survey, atheistnomads.com/survey. And if you want to support the show, which we have no new patrons, but if you want to become one or help the one-time or recurring donation, you can find out how at atheistnomads.com/donate. If you're new to listening to the show, please check out atheistnomads.com/subscribe to find out how to subscribe in your app of choice. Gary, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Lauren, you rocked.
All right.
And listeners, remember, not all those who wander are lost.
Like granite. I rock. Like granite.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Atheist Nomads. You can find show notes and contact information at atheistnomads.com. Follow us on Twitter at Atheist Nomads, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/atheistnomads. Please subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or your podcatcher of choice, and while you're there, feel free to leave us a review. Theme music is courtesy of Sturdy Fred. Until next time, this has been the Atheist Nomads.